Hey tribe, Dawna here from Transformational Healing. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I've had some technical issues. I actually have to do this video from the car because I had to stop halfway to pick up my child in Connecticut to be able to do the live stream. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about protecting your house, energy clearing, spiritual energy clearing, and being able to bring good energy into your home and to be able to keep it that way. So to work on some maintenance stuff. I have lots of videos on this channel about all of these topics, but I've had lots of questions recently about some of the videos. So I wanted to make sure that you guys are able to understand and ask questions if you had any questions about stuff. I just want to make sure that we are actually really live real quick. Let's take a second. But so if you're here, give me a hashtag live or hashtag replay and let me know what your questions are about any topic really. But I wanted our topic to start off with talking about maintaining the great energy in your house. So looks like we are actually live, so that's good. And let me know that you're here. So, when it comes to house clearing, there are so many different ways to cleanse and clear your house. And so people always are writing me emails or sending me direct messages on Instagram and Facebook, and asking me when they see me in person, what is the best way to clean your house, the best way to maintain protection around your house or around your person, and what I do to maintain those things. How often do you need to do it? That sort of thing. And all of those questions have hundreds of different answers, and every person that you ask is going to have a different answer to that question because it depends on your personal beliefs. It depends on how you view the world, how you see things, what you believe in, what path you follow, what your spiritual practice is, and all of those things affect how you would go about clearing your house. Now, my main path is Native American in what I do for my spiritual practice. So I have other paths that I practice along with it because it's not a perfect 100%, but the majority of what I do is what I have been taught by my elders and what has been passed down to me. So I do use sage and cedar and sweetgrass to cleanse my house. But there are times when I also add Florida water and a Neil blue, either the square or the powder. I typically use the powder to the water when I wash my floors because all of those old paths are the paths that call to me, the paths that feel right to me. But that's not going to be true necessarily if I was living in a dorm per se. You know, I might use Florida water and some blue and wash walls or something, but I'm more than likely going to use like something like the Sage Cleanse spray, the aromatherapy spray that I make that you can just spray in the room to cleanse the energy of the dorm room. Plus, it leaves a nice scent because you're not allowed to burn anything in the dorms. You can't burn candles, you can't burn sage. So you want to do things that you can do for your space and things that fit for what you believe. A lot of people will just use holy water or use bringing a candle into each space around the room with prayers. You can use a drum or a rattle. Remember that the biggest thing that I teach you is, yes, I sell all of these different tools in the Transformational Healing shop, but the biggest thing is your intention. So what is your intention? Your tools are a focus for you to be able to bring your intention to fruition. So whatever tools it is that you are using for your space, sage, palo santo, um, holy water, light, sound, noise, a Tibetan singing bowl or bell, whatever it is that you are using needs to work here. It needs to work in your heart. What are your prayers and your intentions that you are using with what you are using as your tool is the biggest part of making all of this work. So, you can use any of those tools that I've talked about to cleanse energy out of your space. There's also lots of crystals like selenite and things like that that will cleanse your space. Selenite is great to actually maintain the space as well because it clears anything that you put on it. So any other crystals or any tools or anything else that you use, you can put on the selenite crystal and then it'll cleanse and clear them too. When it comes to protection, I have a black salt video that tells you how to use black salt for protection. But I'd say at least 50 to even more than 50% of the questions on that are people that want to use black salt to get rid of someone else who is not inside of their space. They want to get rid of a neighbor or they want to make someone go away. And black salt by itself is not necessarily used for that purpose. By itself, black salt, or any salt actually, is usually put across the thresholds of the door or in the corners of the house or the corners of the property, maybe across the windows, to keep negative energy from entering your space. So it cleanses and clears people as they cross the space coming into you. And I forgot to put my phone on silent. I am so sorry about that. So it cleanses and clears the energy coming into your space. If you are welcoming people who carry negative crap with them all the time into your space, you are welcoming them into your space. Your intention can be that the black salt clears their energy as they come into the space, but that doesn't mean that they can't say negative words or that you can't say negative words inside of your space. You've allowed them to come into your space, so you welcomed them across your line. So you have to think about that when you're welcoming people through whatever space it is that you've defined as your protective space. You can set up protection with your intention with whatever tools you want, the same as when you cleanse and clear. But if you are letting negative people in, if you are being negative yourself inside of that space, why is that protection there? And if you are focusing on other people that are outside of your space and you're building up negative energy towards people that you want to go away, neighbors you want to move, things like that, someone that you're having a problem with and you want that person to go away, and you put up protective space around yourself or around your home, but then you're constantly brewing in negativity in your own mind, in your own space, inside of that space. When negative things are going wrong, it's not someone else throwing things at you. It's you not dealing with your own stuff. You want those neighbors to go away. And maybe they are doing something that is legitimately negative. Maybe they're spreading gossip. Maybe they're, horrible people and you really do, need them to move. But always be careful what you ask for, because if what you ask for is, I need to be away from these neighbors, I can't deal with this anymore, well, it might be you that ends up moving and not them. So being careful how you phrase things, being careful how you word things is really important as well. Black salt by itself does not necessarily make other people go away. It is an ingredient in something that is called hot foot powder, and I will do a video on that at some point soon. But hot foot powder includes things like cayenne pepper, and iron filings and other stuff like that that are meant to push people away, to make them hot foot, cayenne pepper, that sort of thing. It does have black salt in it as one of the ingredients for some people's recipes, and for other people not. Everybody makes it different. So it really depends on where you're going to get that from as to how it is made or how you're going to make it yourself. I'm sure that you can find plenty of recipes about how to make that yourself, if that's what you want to do, using the black salt and combining it with other things. For me, that's not something that I typically do. I do have the hot foot powder incense in the shop if that would help you to feel better, to let go of negative feelings and that sort of thing, so that you can dispel that stuff out of your personal space. But remember, just because you cleanse and clear a space and you protect a space doesn't mean that no negativity at all can be inside that space if you're the one bringing that negativity into the space, because you're not doing your own personal work, you're not doing your shadow work, and you're not dealing with what's going on inside. So great ways to maintain that space once you do get it is to stay in a state of mindfulness, to be aware of your energies, your emotions, your feelings, so that you know that it's not you that's filling this space with negativity once you turn it into a big bubble and then you're filling it up with negative crap. If you're always constantly blaming others for your problems and not dealing with things inside of yourself, I highly suggest that that might be something that you might need to do, is to take a deep look inside, to stop and see how you feel. And if you are in a good place and you're setting up your protection, then it's going to work and it's going to keep the inside of the house happy. But there are other things like citrus essential oils and my liquid sunshine spray or oil that you can use to fill the house with happy stuff. Because when we cleanse and clear and get rid of negativity, you need to fill it with what you think are positive, healthy things, so that, because there is no, empty space. Something's going to fill that space. So you might as well control what fills the space when you cleanse out the negative. So you cleanse out the negative, you fill it with positive, and then you set up those protective wards that you want to. So filling your house with positive energy and maintaining it. Things like Jericho flower, citrus essential oils, the sprays for like joy and inner peace that I make, or boiling your favorite like cinnamon and cloves and things like that on the stove. Boiling citrus on the stove will put that energy out there. Lighting candles, maintaining an altar, leaving offerings for your ancestors on your ancestor altar. And if you don't have one of those, there's a video about that, and I'll be doing more ancestor videos as we get closer to Samhain right now. So it is vital that you do things like play happy music to bring that energy in and to keep that energy in. Things like selenite can help maintain that energy. Things like black tourmaline can help absorb negative energy. There are so many different ways, but you need to fill that house after you cleanse and clear with sunshine and joy and happiness. You have to fill the space and then do things to maintain that space. Everything else is a tool. It's a tool. The Jericho flower lets out good energy, but it's a tool to remind us to let out good energy and to bring in prosperity to the home. The selenite crystals will cleanse and clear out negative stuff, but They're also tools to remind us to cleanse and clear out our crap. So remember that these tools that we use on a regular basis are tools, but they only work with you. A selenite crystal will cleanse whatever it happens to be sitting next to, but it's only going to cleanse your tools if you put your tools on it with that intention. That sort of thing. It's only going to work with your house if you put that intention into the crystal for it to cleanse and clear everything that comes into the house. The black salt could be anywhere, but it's only going to work to keep negativity out and as a shield or protection if you put that intention into it. Other than that, it's just salt on the ground. It'll absorb negativity where it's at, but it's not absorbing negativity with intention. So it's just absorbing the negativity. You're the one that puts the intention in it. That most important tool is you and your intention. So that part is what is really, really important. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the live chat if you happen to be here now, or to ask them in the comments later, or send me a private message and I can talk about your questions on a different live stream on a different Sunday. But I do see that there's at least a couple people watching here. So let me know if there's anything that you have questions about. And like I said, I am live streaming on the go in the car. Wish I could have a little bit better setup for today, but I needed to pick up my youngest while she is in Connecticut, and I have to pick her up at 3 o'clock, and going live at 2 in Albany and picking someone up in Connecticut at 3 is not going to work. So I basically just left early so I could stop in the car. So I guess we don't have any questions. Let's see, what are this week's topics? See, this is unprepared in the car. Let's see what this week's videos are on. I already recorded them all, but I don't remember the order. So on Wednesday, we're going to talk about, on Tuesday, the 19th, we're going to talk about using divination, because as the veil starts getting thinner at Samhain is the perfect time to do divination. So I went over just general topics of what different types of divination are and how you could use them and which ones might work for what types of things. And on Thursday, I am doing a video on all kinds of stuff that you can do to bring that sunshine into your house. So it will take the last part of this video and put it out there a lot more details about the different things that you can do and why it's so important to do all of that. Next Sunday, for the live stream, I was hoping to talk a little bit more about shadow work, which I hinted at today when I said that you need to deal with your own stuff. But we're going to talk a little bit about why it's important to do your own work. And hello, Daniela. Thanks. She said that was really great info today, and thank you. But thank you for your comment. That's great. Do you have any questions? Let me know. And I want to know what your favorite ways are to cleanse your house. I want to know what things and which ways that you guys like to cleanse your house. What are your favorite ways to protect your house? Because like I said, each person will form their own individual way, or a way that's been passed down to them by their teachers or by their family, to do all of these things. So when people ask me, what is the best way? My answer is always, you have to figure out that best way for you. I have at least 10 or 15 different ways that I could spout out to you, and then 100 different variations of each of those. So we need to know. So when I ask you, if you ask me a question, when I ask you, what is your path? What is your spiritual belief? That's because what I have done over the last 30 years is to try to learn as many different world views as I possibly can. as many different spiritual paths as I possibly can so that I can help people from different paths to use what tools or what intentions would work for them in whatever situation that they are in. And that is my hope, is to be able to help everyone. And I can't help everyone, but everyone who comes to me, everyone who's seeking my advice, I want to be able to help them from their perspective, from their point of view. So if I don't understand the spiritual path that they walk and that they believe in, it's really hard for me to give them the proper words, the proper tools, and the proper way to go about it so that it stays within their faith, because it will only work if you actually believe that it will work. That intention part really, really matters, because if you're doing something and you say this isn't going to work, well, it's not going to. So I hope that leaves you guys on a great note today, and I need to drive the rest of my drive and go pick up the child so that I can make sure that I'm there on time. But pop your questions in if you're watching on the replay, and I will answer them as soon as I get back to Albany. And have a wonderful and a blessed day. I hope you had a great weekend. It's been pretty good here. A little bit of rain today, but we got some outside time in yesterday. So many blessings, tribe. And I'll see you next week.